This has to be the worst team I've probably ever watched. And I've been watching Raiders football for a long time. And if you're a Raiders fan and if you really love this team, you would probably agree that this is probably worse than the Josh McDaniels and the Jamarcus Russell era. It's got to the point where there's no point of watching the game because you already know what the outcome's going to be. I think that Geno Smith is mentally checked out. And Pete Carroll, it's not working out. None of this is actually really working out. And the show in Vegas is the Pete Carroll and Geno Smith show is an actual circus show. When you go to the game in Las Vegas, you're not going to go see a football game. You're going to go see a circus show. Let's call it what it is, because it is a circus. It's an overpriced circus show. Now, if you're the opposing team, man, you're going to go there and you're actually going to enjoy the circus show. It's somewhere you can actually take your family and go and watch the circus. They got to get rid of Pete Carroll at the end of the season. And it has to be at the end of the season. Because, personally, I don't think that the Raiders could win another game. Even if they tried. Now, knowing the Raiders, they'll probably find a way to mess things up and actually win a game. Just to ruin their chances of getting the quarterback that they need to address. Because the real problem here, let's face it, they need to address the quarterback situation. Geno Smith is obviously not the answer. To be fair, the offensive line is bad. It's really bad. We have the worst offensive line in football, without a doubt. But we also have the worst quarterback. I don't think that even if we had, let's just say like a top 20 offensive line, Geno Smith can't read a defense. I think this offensive line has mentally ruined Geno Smith. That guy can't throw a pass for more than 15 yards without it getting intercepted. Now, to be fair, he did throw a lot of interceptions in Seattle. But let's just say what it is. Geno sucks. He's terrible. He has to be the worst quarterback of all time for the Raiders. I don't think there's been a worse quarterback for the Las Vegas Raiders. I mean, if you look at the stats, he's got to be like number one. And the only way to fix this franchise, and I mean you have to absolutely do this, you have to lose out. You have to lose every game. And I really do think they will. Because, man, we can't move. We can't even hike the ball. We got Geno Smith falling on his ass. Genty can't do nothing because as soon as he gets the ball, he's getting hit in the backfield. But I do think Genty is going to be a good running back for us. And I think he's going to be a good running back for us for years to come. But we gotta address the quarterback issue in this year's draft. And the only person that I think is worthy of drafting is Mendoza. I think Mendoza can give us a better chance. I'm not going to say he's going to come in and just change the franchise around because the truth is we suck. We suck in every position. We suck. Our O-line sucks. Our coaching sucks. Our defense sucks. Our wide receivers are terrible. Trey Tucker's having a good year though. Shout out to Trey Tucker. He's been doing his thing. He deserves it. There's so many holes that the Las Vegas Raiders need to fix. But it starts with the quarterback. And I think by going with Mendoza, it's a step in the right direction. But like after that though, it's like offensive line, third round, offensive line, fourth round, offensive line. And you might just have to just go like all 6 picks of offensive line. And then not only that, you probably still have to bring in some free agents, some linemen in the free agency because that O line is bad. Um, Max Crosby got a little frustrated on that last game. He was seen pushing Herbert down. I think Max Crosby I know he doesn't really want to be traded, but at some point, do you ever like ask your guys yourself like maybe it's time we trade Max Crosby because holy shit, we're not going anywhere for a while. This is not like we change it around in a year. This is like a 3 to 4 year fix. And Max Crosby in 3 to 4 years from now, I won't say he's not going to be a good lineman. I'm not saying he's not going to be the best player in the league because Max Crosby will still play at a high level. But you could probably get more draft capital now than, let's say, in 3 to 4 years. But then again, it's like if we did do that, we can't draft for shit. Like we're horrible at drafting. Up until like these last couple of years, like I feel like we've gotten better at drafting. Like Brock Bowers was a great draft pick. Let's just call it what it was. Even though the Raider Nation hated that pick because we had Michael Mayer and everyone was like, that's such a bad pick. But it was a great pick. And then picking up Ashton Genty in this last year's round was honestly one of my favorite picks. I would have had Genty off the board where we were at. So I don't think that was a bad pick because you literally had no running back because you let go Josh Jacobs. I would have drafted Shador in one of those rounds, maybe not round 2 or 3 or 4 or hey, I mean the 5th round. Think about it though. You drafted Jack Beck. Was Jack? I believe his name is Jack Beck in the 2nd round. Now, Pete Carroll doesn't really play him that much. I understand that. But I think even Shador Sanders in the 2nd round would have been a better pick than Jack in the 2nd round. But again, I'm not saying Shador Sanders is what it would have helped us. I think he's a decent quarterback. I don't think he's game changer quarterback. But I think that the Las Vegas Raiders will fire Pete Carroll probably when the season's over. I'm expecting a thank you, Pete, January 5th. January 5th, we're all going to be getting a notification on our phone. And it's going to be a thank you, Pete. He's a one and done. It's one and done. It's over with. It's clearly he won't play anybody else besides his guy. Geno Smith's not the answer. Pete Carroll's not the answer. I do think that they need to go with a younger head coach. Probably, obviously this next coach won't have any experience as being a head coach before because they need a young mind. They need like a good offensive coordinator to get this show running. Because let's be honest, man, they're in Las Vegas and, they want to sell tickets. They want to make money. You got to have a good offense. You got to run the show. You got to put on a show in Las Vegas. People don't come there, man, to see you punt the ball or throw interceptions. Now, unless, you're the other opposing team, they'll love it. Mark Davis will sell tickets regardless because Vegas is a tourist town. Why would you not want to go to Vegas and go see your team playing if they're playing that week? So in the end, Mark Davis cares, but he doesn't care. If that makes sense. Mark Davis knows that he's making a lot of money in Vegas. And he knows that he has to put like a decent team out there. And I think he's trying. I really do. You know, the whole John Gruden situation wasn't his fault. And then after that, the Rich Bisaccia, the special team coach, I get it. He led us to the playoff. But at the end of the day, are you going to hire a special team coach? And then you go on from there, and then you have Antonio Pierce, who was, a Josh McDaniels replacement. I mean, at the time, Josh McDaniels looked like a great hire. Look what he's doing now back in New England. I mean, good for him. Do I think he's a good head coach? Hell no. I think he's a terrible head coach. I think he is made to be an offensive coordinator in New England. I think that's his job. I think that's his dream job, and I don't think he's going to be going anywhere. So the Josh McDaniels doesn't work out great. Then you have Antonio Pierce coming in, and I get it. He's from Compton. He gave that Raiders swagger, but Antonio Pierce is not the savior. He wasn't going to lead us to the promised land. So what do you try to do after that? Well, the truth is that we get Tom Brady, we bring him in, and what we ended up with was not what Tom Brady wanted. And that's the truth. Tom Brady was trying to go for Ben Johnson, which was my number one pick for a head coach. But in the end, Ben Johnson probably chose a better spot to go to. And then he also wanted Matthew Stafford as his quarterback. Tom Brady did not want Pete Carroll and Geno Smith. Tom Brady that was like the last guy he wanted was Pete Carroll or Geno Smith. So it doesn't work out. We tried, but we thought by bringing in Tom Brady that all these players and all these coaches are just going to want to come to the Raiders and coach and play for the Raiders. But it's not working. Well, not yet. So I don't blame Tom Brady. I don't blame Mark Davis. You bring in a guy to fix it, and you pitch the idea to Ben Johnson, and you try to bring Matthew Stafford over, and they basically tell you, excuse my language, but to go fuck yourself. And I'm going to go choose a different spot where I believe I can win. And that's what they're both doing right now. Ben Johnson doing great in Chicago, and Matthew Stafford is looking like they could possibly win the Super Bowl. To fix the Raiders, you have to go young. You have to throw everything out, throw it all, put it all in the garbage, throw it all out the window. Start fresh. And I get it. We've been starting fresh for the last, 25 years or something. 2002 was the last time we really had it. I know we went to the playoffs a couple times. So it was a few years ago back with Derek Carr, which is a whole nother subject I'm not going to get into. But you got to throw everything out the window. Throw it all. Start fresh. Get a new young head coach. And the only thing you could do is when you're this shitty as a team is you start throwing shit at the wall. You got to find out what sticks. And hopefully after a while it just doesn't stink anymore. If you guys are brand new, don't forget that follow button. We do a lot of fun things here on this channel. My name is Grim, but everyone calls me the Reaper. I'll see you guys next time.